Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Friday, November 7th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of our news, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. The Institute of Geosciences urges Albanian citizens to stay indoors on Monday evening, Tuesday and Wednesday, as intensive rainfalls and possible storm are expected. The representative of the Institute of Geosciences cautions all citizens to avoid high-risk flood areas. The Institute's rep announces that weather predictions, data and possible risks from climate changes have been sent to the emergency staff, to the Ministry of Agriculture and to local government to take the necessary measures for riverbeds, drainage channels and hydropower plants. An Ora News journalist contacted with the Director of Emergency Staff, who declared that he has notified the Prime Minister, Minister of Agriculture, Prefects, Minister of Interior and Minister of Education to take the necessary measures. The emergency staff held a meeting today considering the management of dams to be very important. The Director of Emergency Staff also asks from Roads Authority to take measures to increase road safety as landslides are predicted to happen. The Ministry of Education is urged to consider the possibility of suspending teaching in cases when schools are endangered by floods. Intense rainfalls have caused the first problems all around Albania. The situation has been more problematic in Gjirokaster, where the outpouring of mountain streams and blocked drainage channels blocked several roads. Gjirokaster's main road was completely blocked for 30 minutes. Also, Gjirokaster-Kakavije National Road was blocked for several hours. The agricultural lands of the nearby villages also flooded because the drainage channels were blocked. Representatives of Albanian Road Authority intervened to clean the channels and normalize the circulation of vehicles. Also, work in some Dura sports sectors have been suspended because of bad weather. Fishing and trade ships were not allowed to sail. Also, there have been landslides in Gjejan of Usharas, floods in Kuka's secondary axis, and some road segments were blocked because of heavy rainfall. The City Hall has engaged 1,800 employees to clean all the channels according to the plan of measures to avoid floods because of intensive rainfalls that are expected in the coming days. Tirana Mayor invited the citizens to call the emergency number 112 and report any situation. The mayor inspected work for the reconstruction of Skanderbeg Square. According to him, work is going good and that the employees are working hard for the construction of a public underground parking that is predicted in the square's project. The mayor added that this is not only one underground public parking, as another one is being constructed at the mosque's underground, which is also under construction. Tirana's prosecution will investigate the High Inspectorate of Declaration and Audit of Assets and Conflicts of Interest for dereliction of duty. The unusual proceeding was registered this morning by prosecution's task force. Sources within the prosecution told to Ora News journalists that the legal proceeding is being made after media information that the Inspectorate has not been filed any lawsuit for hiding of revenue or for failure to declare revenue by those who have an obligation to do so. Immediately after the registration of the legal proceeding, 2 judicial police officers went at the High Inspectorate of Declaration and Audit of Assets and Conflicts of Interest Office to gather data regarding its work in the recent 3 years. Albanian State Police will have its new uniforms, for which the Prime Minister and Minister of Interior thanked the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan. I want to express my gratitude and thank the Turkish government and especially the Turkish President for supporting our request and made possible that the Albanian police be like other police of developed countries, declared the Prime Minister. Also, the Minister of Interior thanked the Turkish President. I want to thank our Turkish partners who, after 3 years of our and especially of Prime Minister insistence, we concluded this important project for the Albanian police. This is not a matter of clothes, but a matter of dignity for state police employees and citizen trust in the uniform that represents the law, said the minister. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister announced that state police officers will have the highest salaries in the region starting March 1st, 2017, and expressed his objective to have the best police in the European Union within 10 years. With the new budget of the coming year, your salaries will increase again, starting from March 1st, reaching the highest level in the region. Our ambition is that our police are one of the best in the EU within 10 years. We are determined to work towards this objective, said the Prime Minister before state police officers. The Minister of Interior considered the state police as the institution where the Albanian citizens must trust the most. Results are measured by statistics. We are open and willing to measure our performance. Let the critics choose how they want to measure our work and we will have no objections. State police is being attacked because it only serves the law. We are all convinced that if state police did not serve the law, it would not have been attacked at all. So, any attack is only a confirmation of the path we have chosen to follow. declared the Minister of Interior, responding in this way to the opposition's accusations against state police work. The minister added that hundreds of young people have joined the state police's initiative for volunteer police. The Central Election Commission of Socialist Movement for Integration publicized today the results of yesterday's elections, reconfirming Ilir Meta as the SMI's chairman. According to SMI's Central Election Commission, Mr. Meta received 76% of votes and the support of 31,815 members. Meanwhile, two other candidates, Perparim Spahiu and Shezai Rokai, received respectively 12.1% of votes and 11.9% of votes. The results for the SMI's delegates are also expected to be made public. The delegates will gather in December to elect the Socialist Movement for Integration Steering Committee. Democratic Party Chairman Ilir Meta held a meeting today with party structures of Tirana Administrative Unit 12, from where he accused the Prime Minister of criminalizing state and police. According to the DP chairman, the dismissal of state police officers who participated in the operation against drug in Roshen is a clear indicator that the state has degraded. The state is related to gangs. Over 3 tons of drugs were seized in Roshen, not in the mountain but in the former poultry farm. Roshen's police officers abandoned the operation, and Lieja's police officers did not enter the former poultry farm. This is a clear indicator of states and police's criminalization by Ilir, who has put it in the function of drug dealers, declared Mr. Basha. The DP chairman declared that there are no investments and subventions for the farmers, and that the Prime Minister justifies himself by saying that there are no funds, there are no subventions, no jobs and no investments. Do you know the reason why? Because this is what Edirama wants. He lies. People telling them he has no money, but he has money for his friends, declared the DP chairman, highlighting that this situation can be solved only with Prime Minister's removal. Starting November 1st until May, the government will return to former military officers the old obligations that were not unfairly given to them because of a normative act of 2010. The government's fund for the former military officers is 1 billion lek, and 5,425 retired military officers will receive it. The Minister of Defense declared that the government is keeping its promise. 3 years ago, we promised the return of an obligation that the former military officers should receive based on a constitutional court's decision, which was never implemented by the former government. Under the court's decision, the government should return a part of debts to the former military officers. Thanks to the new law that we have prepared, thanks to the Minister of Social Welfare's work and support of MPs who voted on the law, the government will approximately give 1 billion lek to around 5,500 former military officers. Minister of Defense declared. Meanwhile, the Minister of Social Welfare declared that the new law solves the old problem with former military officers' pensions, and that 3,000 complaints have been filed to the courts regarding the issue. The amount of money the former military officers will receive varies from 250,000 to 400,000 lek, and it will be distributed in 7 installments for 7 months. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Eno, and on behalf of our news, thank you and good night.